Hey, 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 Tanzania! This is Nipe Dili. Today, Placidius Rechungura is out to secure an investment for an app that fuses tech, innovation, and agronomics to boost agribusiness in Tanzania. Placidius, are you ready?
Actually, I'm not nervous. I'm ready for the thing. I'm ready to win 100%. My name is Placidius Rechungura, and I'm the founder of Greenup. Let me take back to history. Now, according to Tanzania Demographic Research of 2018, it shows that the population of Tanzania is increasing. We are approaching 60 million people. Now, according to this report, it shows that we need a lot of food to be produced to feed these people. Now, coming back to the real data, we have got 75% of farmers in Tanzania. 75% of farmers in Tanzania. And these farmers are farming locally. They are currently farming locally. So we need to teach them the best practices to farm properly so that they can produce enough food for the country. Now, these farmers are facing a lot of challenges during farming. One of them is being climate change. The other one being poor education, knowledge. The other one being few agronomists. Now, we thought of breaking this gap by introducing an application called Greenup. Greenup is the mobile application and mobile application and web-based software that help farmers to be linked with farm experts, also to be linked with farmers, and also these farmers are also linked with different services through the system. Now, the system is very important for these farmers because they can manage their farm properly and they produce good produce. For example, taking an example of this watermelon. The watermelon is rotten because the farmer who cultivated this did not know the proper measures of applying fertilizers, good pesticides, and whatever. So we really need to educate these farmers by making them meet extension masters online. Our application has got almost more than 300 users, and the market is allowing. Our market is almost 5 to 7 million. So through this application, the farmers can learn and can also get different information for their markets easily, and can also assist them sell their products well. By this application, we get some commissions from the sales made by 10%, and other customers for application are the banks, insurance companies. We also have distributors. These are agro farm inputs. These are all our clients. So we are currently making 5 million per month, and we are in need of 100 million Tanzania shillings to excel our product. Thank you.
With a 100 million shilling ask and no offer put on the table, let's hear what our investors have to say.
Do you think that currently that is a really problem of the local farmers?
As I told you, our application is a farm management system.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't sell a good product to the market while you can't sell your product to the market while you have got a bad product. We need to teach you. We need to show you how to produce that product so that it can meet market standards. So that's what the application does. It teaches these people on how to apply these best practices on the farm, such as applying manure,
pesticides and everything. So what you are trying to say is the real problem of the farmers is the quality of the products they're producing.
Yes, quality of the products. The other challenge, as I said, is the lack of information.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have good information such as weather change, because we're expressing climate change. They need also to change the way they cultivate now, because when they depend on rainfalls, they have to see other ways to adapt to produce more.
Do you know what happened in Morogoro?
Yes.
Whereby tomato producers or farmers, they produced a lot of tomatoes and their tomatoes were rotten in the fields because they lack the market.
Okay.
So how is your application going to help the farmer to find the marketing information?
That's very good. Thank you for your question. Our application, as I said, it is the farm management. So whatever the farmer registers into the application, if he starts planting his farm, for example, tomatoes, he starts planting today. So our application will take the location of that farm and the data for the farmer. So if he cultivates 1 acre in his farm or her farm, the application will know from 1 acre of tomato, we are able to get maybe 10 sacks of tomato. So at the end of the day, the system knows that in Morogoro, in a certain area, we have got 10 farmers for tomato. This month, they have started cultivating, and we expect after 2 months, they will be having a certain amount of output at the sales. So instead of other farmers in other regions to cultivate, they'll be knowing exactly that after 2 months in Morogoro, we shall be having a certain maybe tons of tomatoes.
So is there a way of helping the customers, I mean the farmers to get the market for their product?
Yes,
Does your application help that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, if you have another question.
Yeah, maybe I'm interested in how are you making money? You mentioned by commission, but can you elaborate it more? How does it work?
Okay. I said by commission because it is, as I said, it is a farmer to services application. Now, we have got also these distributors, the farm inputs. Taking an example, a person is in Morogoro, is cultivating, we shall be having a database for the farmers. So, taking an example, we have got 100 tomato farmers in Morogoro. So we can negotiate with farm input suppliers to supply, their fertilizers or whatever to these 100 people, to these 100 farmers, so at a low price. Now, when they sell to these farmers, to our farmers, then we can get commission from the sales. From the sales done by these farm, the companies, the farm
suppliers.
Inputs. Yes, suppliers.
So you're making money from the suppliers?
We are making money from the suppliers. We also make money from farmers because using the farm management system, because when you manage your farm, you have to pay some amounts. It's 2,000 per month, per 3 months. Now, you'll be able to record your expenses. For example, you have bought manure today, fertilizer today. You have bought some input supplies. When you record the data that today you have spent a certain amount of money to buy something. So at the end of the day, you will know how much you spent during farming. And also we can make money from the banks because banks are failing to issue loans to the farmers because they don't have data. But through our system, we have also negotiated with Tanzania Agricultural Development Bank, and they have given us some information so that to be put for the farmers to key in so that this data can be used by the bank to issue loans to the farmers.
You have said you have started doing it, right?
Yes.
And sending you like 5 million per month.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Where exactly are you? Where are the farmers right now? The farmers that have subscribed to your
Yes.
app?
We started with the pilot in Kagera region in Bukoba. Right. So we are working with one organization. It is called Itama. It is residing in Bukoba town. So these are farming orange fresh sweet potatoes. So this organization manages their farms. It teaches them the best practices on how to farm. So at the end of the day, what they do always, they record into the system. Now at the end of the day, that organization we have entered into contract, they are paying us this amount of money. They are paying this amount of money to us. They are paying 3 million, and also we are also getting 2 million from other distributors, from the sales made from distributors.
You have said your target market is 7 million.
7
million. Is that so?
Yes, yes.
Is that right?
In Tanzania, yes.
In Tanzania?
Yes.
And how did you arrive to this target market? What
Yes.
was the key factor to mention that these are my target markets? And who are these 7 million?
These 7 million are the farmers. From the TCRIA report, we know that the smartphone users in Tanzania are ranging from 22 to 23 million. Now, when taking a roughly summary, among these 23 million users, in the population, we noted that it is 75 million of Tanzanians. Now, we imagine that almost among these 23 million smartphone users, we can't miss 7 to 10 million of farmers because the population of farmers is large. So I need to leverage on this so that at least I can impact knowledge and improve lives of most farmers in Tanzania.
What is your plan? Is it to go throughout the country, or you have a specific niche market that you are aiming at?
The target is to go out throughout the country, and also to other countries. For example, this application is also needed by Rwanda. I was talking with the Minister of Agriculture in Rwanda. I presented it, and also next week I'll also be presenting it in South Africa. They really want it, and also it as an option to also expand to Cameroon because they also really want to use it. Yep.
Give me your bit of your strategy.
Yeah.
Take me through your growth strategy from now to the next 2 years. What are you going to do? What are the areas? What are the key activities you're going to do?
We are expecting to grow bigger. For example, taking an example, when I started, I was alone, but I managed to get the other co-founder as a team. He's also the developer. We developed the system and took it to the market. Through our cooperative, we also managed to employ other 7 young college graduates. So we are now 9 people in our team who are working full time. We also managed to acquire a big office, and also we are doing some research for other disease because we also need to later to be detecting disease through the mobile application by employing artificial intelligence.
I haven't seen your growth strategy,
Okay.
but I have a feeling that you are everywhere. I was expecting from your answer to tell me by X days I'll be here, by X days I'll be doing this, by X days I'm trying to target this specific market. But I'm wondering what will be the factor for you to go to Rwanda, to South Africa, while you haven't tapped in Tanzania. How are you learning from what you have learned from Tanzanian market that tells you why you should go to Rwanda, to South Africa, to Cameroon? I'm wondering, can you convince me a bit, what are the factors that led you to feel that your product fits in Rwanda and other countries that you are mentioning, and not in Twara or Lindi, or you haven't even convinced me that you have gone to the larger Tanzania? Why are you feeling to go to other countries?
Yes, I was showing the need for my system that it can also be used to other countries easily because it adapts.
I have no problem with your system going anywhere. My problem is, where do you want to go? If I have a Facebook account, it is seen globally, but it doesn't mean I'm reaching everywhere in the world. I want to hear your product. Where is it going? And what is the direction of your product? Is it going to be everywhere? How is your measure? Can you tell me, maybe you're planning to reach this X number of people, of client, and you have this plan to reach your client? I haven't heard that. And that is what makes me feel like your business makes sense or not.
Thank you so much. So we are planning to reach 2 million users by next year, June. Why do I say this? Because we have our strategy market. We are planning to go to Iringa region, Mtwara region, and Morogoro region, to expand in Morogoro region by February next month. So by February next month, we are sure that we can have more than 1 million users, because according to the research we have done to these people, we just need to hit the market.
Tell me a bit about your team and the comparison and strength of your team.
Our team is comprised of 3 founders. So I myself, Placidius, I am a computer science engineer, and I have an experience working with the insurance over 3 years, and working with the bank, United Bank for Africa, over 4 years. Then after last year, I resigned and decided to put investment on this thing. So the other founder is Mr. Kelvin, who is experienced over 12 years in programming. We have got the other founder, who is Mr. Gervas Kamgisha, who is expert in finance, and he has a PhD in stock exchange. Also, we have got Dr. Mohamed Salah, who is an agronomist, and is also working now into vet medicine.
All right. You mentioned you need 100 million, right?
Yes, yes.
Can you convince me or tell me exactly what do you want to do with it?
With this 100 million Tanzanian shillings, we need 35 million to invest into the team, also invest into the system. Because
Team meaning, sorry? Team
Yes.
meaning investing in a team. What do you mean?
we need to add more features. As I told you that there are some features which have been added by the Tanzania Agricultural Development Bank and also Reliance Insurance. These are also the channels for our market. So we also need to incorporate these things into the system.
All right.
Yes. So we need also resources like money to make sure that we run, we are on track moving. So the other amount of money will be used in expanding to other regions, because as I told you, we need to reach Iringa, Mtwara, and Morogoro. We're also planning to go to Moshi and Arusha. This amount of money will be used in expansion, because it is very difficult working in Tanzania, especially in technology. We need to work with local governments. So there are some systems to be in place to the local governments there to motivate. It is like a movement to move these farmers to adapt this technology.
So precisely you need 35 million to make some modification improvement on the system.
Yes.
And 65 million to do the outreach program, the marketing issue,
Yes,
right?
yes.
If I give you 100 million right now as an investor, how am I going to get my money back?
Okay.
How are you going to give back?
Okay. We shall sit down, me and you, and discuss on how you want to get back your money.
Assuming I'm sitting down, you are standing up right now. Share me in a nutshell.
Okay.
Convince me right now.
Okay. According to this amount of money you are giving us, after 1 year, we shall be able to break even. So in case you give us this money in terms of maybe loan, whatever, we can also sit down and discuss whether you want your money back or you want also to be the part of our team to make this movement. So, but after 1 year, we are sure that we can break even and give back the money.
Can you take us through how, if you have any assumptions, what are the calculations that reaches you 100 million today?
Okay.
You have been operating for how many years?
For 8 months now.
For 8 months, having 500 users, making 5 million.
Yeah.
Now you want 100 million, and you're telling me you're going to break in a year time. Can you give me some assumptions around that?
That's very great, because for 3 months we are just making our users to experience and give us some comments on the application. So we are not charging anything. It doesn't mean that throughout this month you have been charging people. We gave the system for free for them to experience, give us the comment, and go ahead. So by now we have the plan that when we get just 1,000, taking an example of 2,000 people, and every farmer is paying 2,000 per month, per month as to manage his farm. We shall be having
that is 4 million.
Yes, that is
per
4
month.
million.
by 12 months will be
Okay.
56 million.
Coming back to the banks are also paying for the license. The license they are paying for 6 months, they pay 5 million. 5 million for using our application for 6 months. Yes.
Each bank or every bank? I mean, each bank or
Any bank
collectively?
which wants to insure and to engage the farmers. Any bank any bank or insurance company which wants to to save the farmers. So by using our
Through your application?
yes, they pay 5 million per
How
month.
many banks are you targeting to reach?
I'm targeting to reach current 3 banks.
Okay.
3 banks. Also with insurance companies, I'm targeting to reach 4 insurance companies.
How much are you selling for them?
These 3 banks plus 4, it is almost, there are 7. 7 then plus 5 million, you get more than 35 million per month.
What are the values that you give, if you can tell me? What are the values that you give to the bank? What are the values that you give to the bank?
They access data. They know what is, for example, they don't have. I can tell you an example. To be honest, I was talking with Tanzania Agricultural Development Bank management, also the CEO. They are paying, they are insuring finance to farmers in Imoshi region. Now, the CEO was telling me that, for example, they gave 20 million.
I think, Mr. Rechungura, just one area I need you to work on.
Yes.
On the business model.
Okay.
How are you making money is very important for any investor.
Yes.
Because it looks like you have a lot of avenue of making money from banks, from insurance, from farmers, from whoever. Now, it has to be very clear, especially when I want to know if I'm investing, I need to be convinced, how are you going to make money? So that part, I think you need to work it very well and refine it so that it can convince very fast. Because right now, if you ask me, your presentation is good, the application looks like it's solving a problem, but if you ask me, how are you going to return my money, I'm a bit worried because there are a lot of things in one place and I have to think through a lot. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Yeah, for me, I think I'm out.
Maybe addition after the business model, I think you have to work on your market reach. It's everywhere. You need to have a very convincing numbers or backgrounds that can tell you where you want to go. I don't think if you can go everywhere, and I feel like it will be very important for you to have a specific niche market to start with instead of going everywhere. I have a feeling that we are going to fail if I'm going to invest in your business because I can't see specific area that I want you to see. Feel that you need to work on your business, and I feel like I'm not ready to invest in that business, so I'm out.
One thing that I'm not convinced with your proposition. Yes, sounds good, but is it relevant to Tanzania? I think the most critical challenge that we see in Tanzanian market for the farmers is how to move their products from the farm to the market. The critical information that now where the market is, because most of the farmers, they produce onions and they know I'm just gonna take them to Dar es Salaam, but probably Dar es Salaam market is oversaturated. Your app must be able to tell where the opportunity is to the farmers. They must see, where am I going to sell my products right now? I'm sorry to say that I'm out.
I thank you for your comments, and I will work on the comments which you have given me, then I'm sure that I'll move forward with my dream. Thank you.
Unfortunately, this time, the investors were not fully convinced that Placidius had all the numbers necessary to get them to secure the 100 million shillings he had asked for. It also seemed that they were a bit confused about how the model would guarantee their return on investment. So, Placidius walks away with a ton of advice on how to better his model, and we are very sure that we will be seeing Green App very soon. And with that, we wrap up episode 8 of Nipe Dili Season 1. Catch us right here next time on the Tujenge TZ Innovation Challenge YouTube page. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and most of all, to share the knowledge. Learn, engage, build your business empire. This is Nipe Dili.